9 islands, and 4 Azorius key runes. He is hellbent on beating these red-green decks.
And that's exactly what I was thinking when I saw this. We have a full 18 basics. Okay, so Burning Earth,
and Azorius
not a
key
problem.
runes.
And Azorius key runes. So really, Burning Earth, not an issue. Also, just completely overloaded on removal. Detentions, you said detention spheres, and Oblivion Rings, and Supreme Verdicts, and Terminuses.
Yeah, and Azorius Charm, and sometimes even the Planeswalkers. His opponent, on the other hand, AJ Sacher, playing white-black humans, which we saw yesterday.
Right.
Any twists, any turns compared to his list yesterday?
As far as I can tell, it looks mostly the same from yesterday. He now has a couple Bloodthrone Vampires. He cut the red, so he's going a little more of a streamlined combo version. It's just straight black-white. So instead of running the Falconwrath Aristocrat, like I said, he has Bloodthrone Vampires in the deck right now.
He just wants a little bit smoother mana consistency from the looks of it.
Yeah, and once again, upping on basics. He has 11 basics that he can play.
Yeah, it is without question Burning Earth's influence on this format that has led these players down these paths.
So one thing is that post-board, Ryan does have access to 2 Rest-In pieces, something that is often used against these aristocrat-style decks.
Now it hits Zathrid, Necromancer, and Lingering Souls.
And Blood Artist.
And Blood Artist, okay. Absolutely. Plus Doom Traveler occasionally. Additionally, he has access to Renounce the Guilds, which could be an answer to Cartel Aristocrat, could be an answer to Sorin. Not a ton of targets now that he doesn't have the Falconwrath Aristocrats, but
yeah,
he might consider it.
Yeah, he has still has the 4 Cartel Aristocrats. Actually, the Sorin count is just down to 1 right now.
Interesting.
So he's really just all in on the creature combo pieces. A full 4 on Champion of the Parish, Doomed Traveler, Gather, Blood Artist, Cartel Aristocrat, Zathrid Necromancer, Lingering Souls.
With 2 Terminus, 4 Verdict main deck, plus Jace Architect of Thought, and 4 Detention Spheres, plus a sideboard including 3 Ratchet Bombs, among other things, I gotta give the advantage to Ryan here.
Yeah, it's going to be a little rough. Ryan is actually on 5 cards right now.
I think at this point I have to give the advantage to AJ here.
But that said, he has the potential for so many 2-for-1s in these sweepers that you have to think that he can make it on a mulligan to 5.
Yeah, definitely possible. Plus, I mean, what do you think about Seraph of Dawn? It's kind of a hot sideboard, right?
Yeah, Seraph of Dawn's a really interesting sideboard card to me. So it's the 2/4 flying lifelink from Avacyn Restored. I think it's interesting when you compare it to something like Archangel of Thune. Archangel is so much stronger of a card, except for the fact that it has 1 more mana. So really, it's like this mana cost issue. Ryan, it's more important to him that it has a mana cost of 4, really, than the ability on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is like, I mean, obviously he'd play Vampire Nighthawk if he could, but this is the best he can do in terms of he wants an early Nighthawk in order to be able to hold off quick aggression. Not sure if he plays it in this matchup, but depending on how aggressive AJ came out in the earlier games, it's definitely an option.
Yeah, well, Nighthawk usually gets boarded in against this deck, so I think it would stand to reason that Seraph of Dawn is a fine card to board in here too. But once again, if he's just casting Supreme Verdicts, and Terminuses the whole time, maybe not as much.
Yeah, this is a lot of sweepers.
All right, so AJ, gonna go ahead and just commit to the board here. He goes Doom Traveler on turn 1, swings it, putting Ryan down to 19, follows it up with Cartel Aristocrat.
Blind Obedience. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know if I would not have thought that he would keep Blind Obedience in. Yeah, absolutely. He's got so many good options of things to bring in. I mean, maybe if he was playing Falconwrath Aristocrat, maybe, but maybe he doesn't know.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's assuming
knows that
AJ Falconwrath's in there.
Yeah, he knows that AJ played Falconwrath Aristocrat. Yeah, Blind Obedience certainly much better in this field than in previous weeks, just because of its ability against haste creatures. But AJ not playing any haste creatures.
Yeah, Blind Obedience was a card that I saw suggested by a lot of players, and I asked them, what can Control do to adapt to these red-green aggro decks? This was a pretty popular answer. Back when we saw, probably about half a year ago, when these red-black aggro decks that were, Thundermaws and Hell Riders were like the top aggro deck of the format, Control decks were playing Blind Obedience. As the red decks turned into Burning Tree Emissary decks, this fell out of favor a bit, but it is poised for a comeback right now.
Absolutely. Now, AJ having one of the best draws that he could hope for. Turn 1 Doom Traveler, turn 2 Cartel Aristocrat, turn 3 Doomed Necromancer.
Yeah, he plays
Zathrid Necromancer.
And he did it off a Mutavault, so he has yet another human and another attacker this turn.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to just sack his Doom Traveler to get a 2/2 zombie and a 1/1 flyer, just to get that extra 2 damage in, because he wants to. He is assuming that he's going to get verdicted.
Right, so right now it's really, if he gets verdicted, he actually gets 7 power on the board post-verdict. So AJ's going to go ahead and just swing the 5 power here. That puts Ryan down to 11. Yeah, he has 7, actually he has 9 power post-verdict if you count the Mutavault. So it's almost right now, if Ryan verdicts right now, it's almost lethal.
Yeah, that's definitely what AJ wants to do, is put him in a position where the sweepers aren't even forward progress.
Yeah, AJ casts the Lingering Souls. Does not have the 4th land, but has such a commanding board presence here. Ryan almost needs to miracle a Terminus.
Even if, yeah, absolutely, because even if Ryan sweeps the board here, if he takes 9 on the swing back, he's down to 2, and if he sweeps the board again, he still dies to Mutavault.
Yeah, so actually I like the answer he's played here. He played a Jace Architect of Thought, which actually might, I think here prevents more damage than the Supreme Verdict would. AJ, really a swarm strategy.
Yeah, it's the Miser's Jace, but this one Jace is probably the best card in his entire deck in this matchup.
Yeah, excellent against Lingering Souls. Right now it takes AJ's attack of what could be a lot of creatures, really, and now only the 2/2s matter, and they only count for 1.
So that's 4 damage that's going to get through?
Yeah, if he activates Mutavault, there's 4 damage that can get through. And we see AJ wanting to get that extra damage, so on end step, he's going to go ahead and sack Doomed Traveler, making a Spirit token, but more relevantly, making the Zombie token. He's going to untap, and looks like he's going to go for a swing. Do you go with the Jace, or do you continue to keep your eyes on the target?
If he's not even going to kill the Jace, you might just have to go after Ryan.
For a 2-headed giant, if you'd like to play, make your way up to.
Yeah, if you look at AJ's hand, though, he has another Lingering Souls. He has a lot of cards that are typically really strong, but weak against Jace Architect of Thought.
You might go after Jace. Just like, you're not going to kill Ryan. I mean, it's going to take 3 hits to kill Ryan, assuming he does nothing. That's not even counting him eventually having a blocker. You might just have to hit Jace just so that you can eventually go big enough, because you're already committing to there being 4 more turns of this game.
Yeah, I think AJ agrees there. He goes ahead and hits the Jace down to 2, plays Sin Collector, seeing Azorius Charm and Celestial Flare.
Celestial Flare is another interesting one. I would not have thought you'd bring it in the token matchup.
Yeah, you normally would only snag a 1/1.
Right. I mean, I guess it depends. Like it seems like he's really concerned about the aristocrats. The aristocrats themselves, like Cartel and Falkenrath.
Yeah. So AJ goes ahead and takes the Azorius Charm, passes the turn back. Ryan he draws Supreme Verdict for the turn.
Wow.
It's a good draw. It looks like he's still going to lose the Jace though.
Interesting. However, his alternative plan, if he pluses, he can also Celestial Flare and block.
Okay, so activate Keyroom.
Yeah, the Azorius Keyroom can actually eat something like a Sin Collector or the Doom Necromancer, the Zathir Necromancer without even dying.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and go for the Supreme Verdict. That, because we have 3 humans in play, will leave AJ with 3 2/2s. That should be enough to kill the Jace.
Just 2 2/2s, right?
Sin Collector is also a human.
Right, Sin Collector and Zathir Necromancer?
And Cartel Aristocrat.
Ah, right.
Right, so he has the 3 2/2s, and once with that Jace off the battlefield, AJ does have a Lingering Souls in the graveyard and 2 more copies of Lingering Souls in his hand. He should have a sizable, pretty much no end of threats.
Yeah, I think I would have tried just having the Azorius Keyrune and the Celestial Flare, but this way does quiet the board down a little bit, I guess. Ryan really needs to draw something that can start producing some action for him again, though. Well, that Jace was his big game plan.
I really like your line there, because if he blocks with the Keyrune, it puts AJ in an extra awkward situation that the Azorius Keyrune could block the Necromancer, possibly. Right. So now AJ can't really swing the Necromancer, because then he actually does die to a Wrath.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Now Ryan is stuck in the unenviable position of having to draw another sweeper.
Right, and then probably sweepers after that. We know, so AJ with the 3 zombies takes care of the Jace, and he has 2.5 Lingering Souls still left at his disposal.
Plus, I think Ryan just started so far behind on the double mulligan. He needs a card like Jace that can just win the game on its own. Like otherwise, AJ's not going to run out of gas for a long time.
Yeah, Jace really a tailor-made answer for Lingering Souls, but AJ
literally a tailor-made answer.
Yes.
A little heavy-handed how tailor-made.
Yeah,
but,
it's like,
so we have,
almost as if they planned it that way.
So is that another Azorius Keyrune?
Yeah, it looks like it's a second Azorius Keyrune to go with that. The Celestial Flare still in his hand. AJ played a Godless Shrine tapped and made another Lingering Souls from his hand, so now he has 2 in the graveyard and 8 power on the battlefield. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Keyrune. Contemplating, I think, whether or not to extort here, and he does not. He's going to go ahead and pass back the turn.
Yeah. Now that Celestial Flare wouldn't have actually. No, you know what? My line actually wouldn't really work that well. It would be better because you could still eat the Necromancer, but Celestial Flare wouldn't be able to save Jace
Because
as long as
the
like AJ knows. Well, and you do it before blockers.
Yeah.
But you.
Do you have to tap the key rune?
No. AJ knows that he has Celestial Flare. AJ would attack with all the spirits too.
Okay, so it eats a spirit. Okay.
Right. Want to save the Jace, but it would still kill the Necromancer, making the sweeper a little more effective.
All right, so we see a full swing. Ryan's going to go ahead and activate 1 key rune, trade it for 1 zombie, but he does take 6 off 2 zombies and 2 souls tokens. That puts him down to 6.
What do you think about the position of these white-black decks of the Aristocrats type stuff now that the format is so Red Green and Jund heavy?
Well, it's really interesting. So we've seen a lot of different Aristocrats variations. We saw Act 2 initially, which is the Boros Reckoner Blasphemous Act version. Then it kind of evolved into Junk Reanimator, or Junk Aristocrats with the Varols, you know, all this redundancy and just trying to combo with Blood Artist. And now it's moving toward this white-black humans deck. I'm wondering whether or not we'll end up seeing a resurgence of the Act 2 style decks. If Red Green becomes really popular, I feel like Boros Reckoner Blasphemous Act might become a good place to be again.
Interesting. So I still think this might just be one of the many victims of Scavenging Ooze. Scavenging Ooze, I think by the time the day is done, is going to be known as one of the most powerful creatures in the history of Magic. The card is warping the standard format in a very big way.
I mean, it's a better Tarmogoyf than Tarmogoyf. And Tarmogoyf certainly is no slouch of a creature.
In standard.
Right.
Yeah, I still like Tarmogoyf in big formats, but
Sure.
it depends on what format you're playing, because in standard, the Scavenging Ooze just tears people apart.
All right, so Ryan Dietrich, AJ made 4 more spirits that turn. He draws the 1 outer he needs. He miracles the Terminus off the top of the deck. He's still at 6, still in a little bit of an unenviable spot, but he goes ahead and Terminuses, then swings 2 with the Azorius Key Rune.
Aggressive. What do you think about attacking with the Azorius Key Rune
I almost
instead of the Evolve?
feel like I'd want to extort there possibly, or maybe represent a block with the Azorius Key Rune. We see AJ, you know, just reloading right off the Terminus. He's going to play Cartel Aristocrat and Zathrid Necromancer. Okay, actually, sorry, he did extort on the Terminus, so he gained 1 life. And drawing a land, plays it, and he's going to pass back the turn. Yeah, I don't know how much that 2 damage off Key Rune is.
Oh, no, it was good. I mean, you got free damage in.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as he actually extorted, then this line seems reasonable, particularly since he can't really afford to block with the Key Rune, or he didn't want to. Now he might just have to.
Yeah, well, he does have the Celestial Flare in his hand, but AJ knows about it, so it loses a little bit of value there. Remember, AJ still, with 1, he's played, of all those Lingering Souls, he still has 1 left. He's going to go ahead and play it here.
Tom Martell would be proud.
Both of them come into play tapped through Blind Obedience. And rather than flashing it back, he looks like he's going to activate Mutavault. Remember, Mutavault here is a human, so if it dies, it will get a 2/2 zombie thanks to Zathrid Necromancer. Now Ryan does have a second Terminus. If he can find that second Terminus, he might be in an okay spot here.
He gets to kill the Necromancer. Did he block already?
I don't think he activated Key Rune. I don't know if he's blocked yet. It looks like he's casting Celestial Flare, so we'll go ahead and we're gonna wait for a second and see what's happening here.
Yeah, I mean, if he actually blocked first, AJ has the option of sacrificing the Necromancer.
Exactly.
Putting Ryan at 3, but it means AJ has 1 less zombie.
All right, looks like we're before blocks. AJ's gonna go ahead and sack a Cartel Aristocrat. Yep, this is before blocks, so go ahead and get a 2/2 zombie off that. Now, the Key Rune has the choice between going on Necromancer and Mutavault. Dietrich chooses Necromancer and drops to 5.
And AJ choosing to sacrifice the Cartel Aristocrat instead of the Mutavault because he wants more protection against sweepers like Supreme Verdict and Terminus.
Right. So, given the choice, do you like the block on Necromancer as opposed to taking out the Mutavault for the reason you just mentioned?
I think so, because if you leave him with the Necromancer, he still gets a zombie after you sweep the board, just like he would have a Mutavault.
All right, so Dietrich, his next draw was a Celestial Flare. That's not going to be good enough, and the handshake is extended. So AJ wins 2 games to 1, moves to 2-1 on the tournament.
3 Ratchet Bombs, 2 Terminus, 4 Supreme Verdict, 4 Detention Sphere.
Still
Nothing.
Not enough.
Nothing to AJ Sacher.
Well, one of the things, actually...
You know how he got that nickname, right? AJ Sacher? Because he's
no,
so
go
athletic.
for it. He's so athletic, really?
Yeah,
He's a soccer player. Oh,
no.
okay.